Welcome back. Whiskey and Wisdom Podcast again, episode number 35. And as always, we are here together, the brothers, myself, Bruce, Tyrone in the building.
What up, what up?
Mike, what it do?
What's goody, what's goody?
And as we always do, we make sure we get that potion out, 2 cubes only. Fellas, man, how y'all doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm blessed, man.
I'm telling you, I'm still waiting on this song
I'm blessed,
to come
man.
out.
Hey, you know,
I'm still waiting on this
I had to
song.
send it to somebody, and you know the way they work, it might be a minute.
You should say, I'm blessed, baby.
Baby.
Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. That's how it goes down.
Baby.
Sleepy. That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm tired, but like my man said, I'm blessed, man. I ain't no complaints.
Hey, man, it's the Blessed Podcast, and you are here to join us as always, man.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Yes, sir. Man, a lot going on this week, a lot really going on next week, but we're not going to talk about that this week. So we're going to start off the podcast, as we always do, recapping the question of the day. Question of the day last week is, Kamala Harris, was you with her or not? Pretty much 75% of y'all said nah. That's a no-go for me, fam. I would be curious to hear what your options would have been for the vice president nominee, but we don't get that kind of answer. But maybe if y'all leave it in the comments, we can go in and discuss it some deeper detail. But yeah, pretty much like everybody on the pod, I said last week, had other choices as far as the VP would have went. So, but anyway, either way, the Dems are telling y'all go out and vote. Make sure y'all vote. Make sure your voice is heard one way or another. Don't be a victim of the people telling you where you should vote. Make sure you vote and how you want to vote, and yeah, keep it out there. But fellas, man, how y'all been seeing how everybody's been out right now during this COVID, man? Like, bro, apparently the COVID, that discount is heavy right now, so they taking full advantage.
Something, bro, because now I know why it lasts so long. Not that I didn't know before now, but it's just another sign like, okay, we're going to be in here forever because y'all just can't get right, man.
He said forever.
This just might be the new wave, man. Y'all need to figure it out now.
Nah,
Jesus. I don't understand, man.
There's some nasty stuff going on, bro. It's some real sick stuff going on. But, I'm not going to comment on it, man. I ain't trying to do that, but I just hope y'all are paying attention. And I hope y'all are being safe. That's the main thing. And it doesn't seem that way, but like my brother said, we're gonna be in this forever until y'all listen up and wisen up and realize that your life is not on hold if you just do a few simple steps to get rid of this thing. And that's it.
You think you you think the ones that's partaking, you think they're gonna be the first ones go sign up for that vaccine?
Hell no.
That's what I was thinking too.
No, because they already like, yo, I'm already outside anyway, so
That's what I was thinking too, bro. God.
Everybody gonna treat the COVID vaccine like they treat the flu vaccine. Every time you go to the doctor, they be like, oh, you want to get your flu shot? Oh, no, I'm cool.
Yeah, it's like, all it does is gonna give me the flu.
It's what's crazy though. I think some people are thinking like, let me take advantage of it because I might not be here tomorrow. That's all fine and dandy. What happens when tomorrow gets here though, and you stuck with COVID-19, and you can't see your family members? Yeah, like you can't see your family, your friends. You're isolated from your loved ones. You have to quarantine yourself, which you already are feeling bad because of the virus and the symptoms that it incurs and it brings on. But now you're also feeling isolated, which can be even a more mental strife. So
yeah.
To me, it just doesn't. It never adds up. It never makes sense when I'm seeing people flying. I'm seeing people out here doing vacations with other people. And don't get me wrong, it's great if you trust your friends and you trust the people that you know. But it's just difficult when, honestly, I think a couple of weeks more inside the house, I don't think it's going to hurt anybody. Just a concerted effort from everybody across the world. Like, let's just try to get this thing contained at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not even like they doing anything different. Like y'all going to the same waterfall, being like TLC. Didn't y'all listen to the song? The song said don't go chasing them, and y'all going out chasing them in the worst time to be chasing a waterfall. Stick to the lakes that you used to.
Please. Please.
Made no damn sense. Y'all out here taking pictures in front of that same ass waterfall because that girl that was dating Future took a picture over there. Y'all clowns, man.
I'm gonna tell you another thing that's nasty. I done seen a lot of people in the same damn cenotes too in Mexico. I need y'all to find other cenotes or find other place to go. All y'all going to Tulum at the same. In Mexico, y'all gotta chill. Why y'all ain't shut down? Nobody coming there, man. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand. Y'all got everybody
Right,
going
yeah.
out there. All the black Twitter, black Instagram, all the like these fake influencers going out there taking pictures in front of Pablo Escobar's mansion. The same damn picture.
Gotta take advantage before that wall go up.
Mhm. Mm.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
As if we can't fly over it, but okay. Yeah, but yeah, this is nuts, bro. I just don't get it, man.
I think people lose a lot of friendships over over these little escapades people taking. I'm tell you right now. Some people, hey, lose my number. Don't call me. I ain't hanging out with
Nah, I just put their calls on don't disturb.
you. Yeah,
Oh my
for
God.
sure. For sure.
I don't even see him coming through.
Nope. Don't even
Uh,
hit my line. You can hit me, but I ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, say, man, you trying to do something the weekend? Nah, bro. I got COVID. I'm good. I'm gonna stay in the house.
Man, like what is something like all right. We didn't have this on the premise, but we're gonna go there anyway and we're gonna talk about it. So if you was gonna recommend something different for these people to do that just gotta get out of the house, right? They gotta have that interaction with other people that they don't live with. What are some of the suggestions or recommendations that you would have for these people?
First of all, that's the last thing I'm trying to do is go be around some other people. I can understand getting out of the house, because you're tired of, a couple of walls here and there, but not to go jump into somebody else's house or jump into somebody else's face. Like, take a ride in your car and don't get out. You know what I'm saying? If you really need to get out of the house, why did I don't, maybe it's me. My personality doesn't feed off of uh, interactions with other humans on a certain percentage of the week or the day. I don't have to have that. And maybe some others do, which is why they want to go and fraternize and be in other people's presence. I don't have a recommendation because that's just I don't have any energy for any of that. I'm already trying to be, you know, quick about where I go, whether it's shopping or whatever it is. Even when the malls was open, I had a mission of what store I was gonna go to, what I was gonna get when I got in the store, and I'm getting back out. I never had. I don't know. It was just me. I never needed to be around a lot of people.
I can see that. I can definitely, and I definitely understand that too. I I guess one of my suggestions would be if you really wanted to just be in the presence of other people, like there's parks that you can go to where you can space out, um, and try to find times to go when it's not a lot of people. Um, I mean, also people you really just want to kind of just go out, like take your best friend or your significant other or any other relative that you live with. Y'all just go take a drive for like an hour or so. Just go drive around and just kind of put the window down, get some fresh air, man, and just kind of clear your mind. Just ride or listen to some music or podcasts or, just have a conversation with that person just in a different setting. Because I do understand that, being cooped up in the house for 24 hours on a day, 7 days a week can be very taxing, not only physically, but mentally. So, taking advantage of those opportunities that you get, you get off work on a Friday night, just go ride around. Or, hey, I'm a Tuesday night, like just go grab some ice cream somewhere. You know what I mean? Somewhere where it's safe. We don't have to get out of the car. We can just go drive and just have a nice little time out and come on back. You know what I mean? So just doing different things like that, man. If you really have the urge or the knack to get out, um, and for the people that are going out every day to have to go out to work and face and interact with other people, you know, sometimes it's cool to take a little drive around, before you go home. Just kind of clear your mind for a few minutes. You know what I mean? I know sometimes that can be taxing as well because you're fearful of who you're coming in contact with, and you don't know if this person has COVID-19 or not, or that trace routing might not be working so much on your phone, or they might not have it turned on theirs, or it's just a lot of different issues to kind of navigate. But um, those are some of the tips I would have for people that are really kind of itching to get out.
All right, man. I appreciate your brothers giving that information, man, because a lot of people need it. I do see a lot of people out here struggling with the work from home. But some other people who wanted to join into some options, some things that y'all can do since y'all tired of your home, or you might have too many people in your house. You need a space alone. Um, some of the big cities, man, they out here giving out work from home packages at hotels. Um, to Have y'all heard about that? Well, let me ask y'all that. Have y'all heard about that whole work from home package?
Nah.
Nah, that's news to me, brother.
All right, so let me give y'all some inside scoops, I guess. So hotels in like places like Los Angeles, Brooklyn, DC, they got cheaper home like work from home and the hotel rates going. I mean, you can get high speed Wi-Fi. You can work in a hotel room. Do it up with the room service and all that stuff. But the Candyland of adults has joined this relief package, I would say. And Las Vegas, two hotels in Las Vegas have joined that work from home thing. Fellas, if I gave you $500 to work from home from Vegas for 2 weeks, would you entertain it?
No, 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 no. I, okay, so when you go into a hotel, like, yeah, some of those hotels may be spacious, but you don't know who's been through there. You don't know when the last time it was any type of cleansing going on, or sterilizing or sanitation. And there's only what, maybe two or three elevator stalls. Like, you gotta get in the elevator. It's a lot before you get to the room. Whoever's coming
But
into the room to bring you whatever you ordered, you gotta think about that.
but how is
Like,
that different than like going to the grocery store?
well, I don't go. I limit. Like y'all heard, I do Instacart, which they sometimes fail me.
But
But
they going in there.
they are.
Somebody going to the store.
Yeah, that's a
Some
fact.
You're right. You are right. Somebody is going into the store, but you're going where other people are. You're breathing the same air as other people. Like, you can control what comes in. You can spray each item. You can wear gloves before you spray each item when you take it out your bag. You lose a lot of control when you put yourself in those large areas. I mean, that's why it's continuing to spread now, because we're going. A lot of people are going to one space.
Mike, what you got on this, man?
You know what? The more and more I think about it, I actually might take that jump.
See,
Y'all
I
go
might.
right ahead.
I
Both of
might.
y'all
I might
enjoy
take. I
yourselves.
might take. Nah, hold on. So Ty, let me explain this to you right quick. You said something that was interesting. You said a keyword control. So if all I have to do is just hop on a plane and get to Vegas, I technically can truly sanitize my own room, especially if I'm going to be the person in there.
That's the
And
key.
and I also can find a way where I can let room service know, hey, I don't need you guys coming in my room for the 2 weeks. All I need 3 sets of sheets that I can change out every 4 or 5 days or so while I'm here. So you guys just take the dirty sheets, clean them. That's cool. I'll leave them outside the door. You guys pick them up. As far as room service goes, I'll go grab my own food. I don't need you guys bringing anything in my room. I don't need anybody foot traffic coming in and out of my room. I don't know where you guys been. I'm cool on that. So you can take measures where if that's really what you truly want to do, you can find ways to kind of make it work for you. Especially if you got a spouse that y'all just want to kind of get away for a little bit. Especially you guys both work from home, like that might be the move. Like that might be a pretty cool bag to kind of hop in real quick. You know what I mean? Go to Vegas for 2 weeks. y'all working, doing Zoom meetings, whatever you guys do, and then especially if you can get a view of the strip. Come on, man. Nah,
See,
let me change my scenery real quick.
yeah, y'all look. I
Nah.
was hoping one of y'all would say it, but neither one of y'all said it. Tyrone kind of alluded to it, but the other thing about the room service is like in-house Uber Eats.
Yeah, true.
Like that's like Grubhub in the crib. Like like you go you go order on Grubhub, they gonna go in the restaurant, they gonna come drop your food off. It's the same thing as room service. They look, leave it on the like I'm gonna leave a little table out there, just drop it on the table, just knock on the door, and you go ahead and leave, and I go ahead and pull out the food once you gone. Hey, I ain't got to deal with nothing. I
That's a
got
good point.
food. Like Mike said, get them sheets every 4 days. Give me some new sheets and towels every 4 days.
Yeah, yeah,
Make sure my Wi-Fi hitting and give me a view.
So
yeah.
are y'all the only ones in the airport and on the plane?
I mean, me
Because I'm
personally,
because it starts way before we get to the room.
see, well, the thing is, me personally, I'm probably gonna rock out with the RV. I might do the RV situation.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
You
talking
know
about.
what I mean? And go ahead and get the Instacart hit before I get in the RV. Jump in that
That's
jump.
that's what I'm
See,
talking about.
you gotta, hey, like my man, Spit High Fire dude. He pointed ahead. See,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Bro, you got to do things different, man. Like that's a perfect idea. I love that, Bruce. That was perfect. I love that.
I mean, the NBA doing it. The NBA in the bubble ain't got nobody got a positive test yet.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
But
It's-
everybody in Vegas is not in a bubble, man. Come on. Mike, you sitting up here. Yeah, that's a fact. Come on, man. These people are not in bubbles. We just said the type of people that are going to these places cannot be trusted.
Well, so hold on. I get what you're saying. I get where you're going with that. But like anybody telling you to go to live or the Bellagio, like in the casinos, like I'm not leaving my
Hot
room.
doggery.
Yeah. Nah, no, wait a minute. I might have to go. I might have to go slip down that way real quick just to get some food. But I'm coming. But I'm gonna pick it up though. I'm gonna go walk down to the strip, go grab it, come right back, and I'm cool. But I mean, as long as I ain't going to the club, I'm cool though. And again, you got to find ways to control it. You know what I mean? And yeah, the plane is a little shaky, but I mean, hell, United and Delta offering sanitizer, so let me sanitize my hands. I'm good. Just got guard these seats real quick. I'm straight, man.
Yo, where's the gas mask at? Like, we talking about wearing
Yeah.
regular masks. Like, why the gas mask ain't take off yet? Because I think wouldn't the gas mask be the perfect solution?
Along with the suit.
Gotta have a hazmat suit.
You wearing a gas mask, you might as well be suited up.
Well, some of the people been out here that bootleg suited up, sitting on an airplane with the face shield on it. How you look? What's the purpose of a face shield
Yeah.
without the mask?
The face
I
shield.
never understood that.
Yeah, y'all can keep that in the can. That I do not understand, bro. You're not. Everything is wide open. A shield? Come on, a shield.
You just gonna breathe it right underneath.
You ain't got no covering underneath. It's just a face. Like it's just
That ain't cutting off none of your respiratory.
You got
system.
a big ass visor over your eyes. Like you, come on, fam.
Oh my god. Yo,
Well, I
and then
hope
not to
y'all.
mention people don't know how to wear their mask right anyway. So I mean,
Yeah, this is a
over the
chin strap
mouth.
for a lot of people.
Yo, I was at it. Yo, not to cut you off. I was just at the grocery store. Somebody had that jank on their chin. I'm like, where's the workers at to tell her to put the mask on all the way?
Man,
So I guess that's my privilege speaking out a little bit there, because I mean, I'm looking at another person tell somebody to put their mask on.
Nah, that's not your privilege. That's your right. You ain't trying to die. Nah, that like, nah, man. People got to be smart, man. And if I'm gonna hop on a plane, give me my gas mask, my hazmat suit. I fly back and forth. I'm good. Especially that's all the get up I need anyway. I ain't got to put no suit and tie on to go to plane. Let me get my suit. I'm good.
Hey, look, me and Mike be at the Bellagio doing it up.
Straight
Tyrone gonna
cash,
be on.
homie.
yeah, y'all have all the fun y'all want, man.
Ty, we're gonna send you a bunch of IG pics, boy. You better come
Hell
on,
yeah,
man.
boy.
I lived through those. That was perfect. Perfect.
Hell yeah. You know how we get down over there, boy.
We're gonna rent a boat and everything. We're gonna be good, man.
Y'all have yourselves a wonderful time. a wonderful time.
Come on, man.
Hey man, I'm
Hold
telling
on.
you,
So
bro.
Ty, hold on. Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
if we could guarantee that you could get to Vegas in the plane or in the RV safely, and you can have a great experience in Vegas for 2 weeks doing your job, uninhibited from any disease, any contraction, anything like that, and a safe trip back, you still wouldn't do it?
Bro, you sound like 45. I don't trust no guarantees. Them guarantees can't be guaranteed, man. Nah, nah.
Hey, look, that's fine, man. We're gonna get the hangover suite. And
For
look,
sure.
Mike can have his whole side of the suite. I can have my whole side to the suite. We can eat dinner and lunch together with our mask on, like everybody at these restaurants.
Watching playoff basketball when we finish
Exa-
working, bruh. Yeah, we good.
exactly.
We good.
Might even see a couple of NBA players over there while we there.
Might as well, especially Steph Curry, and then we might see them.
Oh, watch
My
Oh
him.
bad, my
my
bad.
god. uh,
I'm just saying, man. I would entertain. I might entertain it. I might entertain it, but another thing that's kind of coming up with this, like when you talking about people with remote packages and these big cities trying to like incentivize people to come out to their city. Um, a lot of the big cities is actually losing residents. You know, people who live there, they're deciding to move away from the big cities and get into these cheaper homes in these smaller cities or states and like places that doesn't have a like large population, especially with a lot of these people being able to work from home. What are some of your thoughts about the? I would almost say like the reverse engineering of gentrification, because I mean, a lot of people who are making these decisions that they don't know they no longer need to live in these big cities is usually the people who move to the big cities. When you think,
Yeah, it's funny. I actually was just reading an article about this last night, and I seen a podcast clip about this as well. And um, one of the major cities, San Francisco, are having residents just fleeing at kind of record pace, if I should say. And I do think that what we're seeing right now with this, with people fleeing in these companies, everybody changing course and changing direction with remote work, it's definitely going to start to have not only companies but really citizens and people looking at things differently. If I'm in San Francisco and I work at Facebook and I was just told, you know, hey, you can stay remote, and there's no time frame for me to come back in, at least not within the next year or so as a guarantee. Yeah, I'm gonna leave my $4,000 studio apartment in San Fran, and I'm gonna move somewhere else on the outside. Now, I've seen people from the article as drastically as not just relocating from San Fran to Alameda, but I've seen people like relocating to Colorado, like just different states. Places where they may want to just inhabit in the future. So it's definitely going to be an interesting time to see how companies react, and especially with the news that I just got this week, um, that I'm going to be 100% remote for the rest of the year. It's if I were in a place where my wife and I were paying an astronomical amount of money for rent or mortgage, or we want to relocate and kind of downsize, or you know maybe even increase our space for a smaller price, then yeah, I would say that's a smart economical move, especially when if the ripple down effect with these companies losing people, or having to work remotely, is that they can almost kind of cut costs a little bit. And it was somebody brought up a point, one of my coworkers the other day, or asking the question of, well, if we can do our job remotely 100% and still have the same efficiency numbers that we had before in the metrics, then what's the incentivization of us going back in, especially when you can just have us work remotely and just cut ties with the leasing buildings that you guys have. There's no point of you guys paying $100,000 a month for a building if nobody's going to be there.
fact,
So that
yeah,
that's a conversation that a lot of companies are having behind the scenes, man. Where it's like, all right, if we can kind of cut costs with our operations and overhead, why not? If it's going to cost us $40,000 to get everybody two extra monitors work from home, but it's going to save us an extra 60 by cutting this lease. I do it. That $40,000 only once. That's 100,000 every month. So
Yep.
Mhm.
it's a conversation that's definitely going to be a lot louder. I would say in the near future.
Ty, what you got on this one?
I agree, man. With I mean, I don't have experience being able to work remote, but um, just hearing your guys' experiences, y- I feel like a lot is going to change. Some corporate structures and how they do their real estate piece of their business plans will have to be adjusted because I mean it makes sense and it's cost savings, and you're not losing productivity or efficiency. Excuse me, efficiency. Like all of that is still on point and on par, and the results are there. Like that's sort of a no brainer. But I think one of the negatives will be getting in and out of these leases. And I've come to learn that a lot of large companies don't really own any of those properties or buildings that they do business within. My company is one that doesn't they don't own their retail spaces. So retail is a bit different, but office buildings and things of that nature where you really don't have to be there, I'd say that's a conversation that's going to come up, as Mike said, time and time again here in the future. Um, but then you would also have to figure out like how is the lease set up? Like, are we able to just jump out? Do we have to stay here and just have no people in it? Like, that's another piece too that's going to affect the decision of a lot of companies too.
Well, I mean, this topic it kind of resonates with me a lot because one of the places that's been seeing a lot of people leave out is San Francisco Bay Area, where I used to actually live. So for me, I've seen how gentrification was really affecting the people there. It kind of played a part in why I wanted to leave as well, because I just felt like I was just contributing to a problem that wasn't being resolved or even like remotely worked on by the people who could make the changes there. So I just wanted to remove myself from that. Um, but what you're finding is a lot of people there who don't live there are just realizing like, hey, well, I came here to be able to frequent these good restaurants and like these lifestyles, and a lot of those people don't even like really they don't even really be involved in what's going on from the people who are like born and raised there. Like they're not contributing to help change that. They just dare to soak up the greatness of it and like move on to a lot of people who are like born and raised and that's all they know there. Like they don't even get the people who are there from there don't even get to frequent these restaurants and things that pop up and like these smoothie bars and all that stuff like that. Like they don't even get to go to that stuff because honestly they're just being priced out.
Yeah.
So now what you're seeing like with anything, when you put a price that high that isn't achievable, like without all these companies there, whatnot. And when this company say, "Hey, look, we don't need you to be there. Y'all can go work remotely. And you can like when I say remotely, you can work anywhere." A lot of those people who were there just to enjoy like the fruits of everything that was like brought in say, "Hey, look, I can't even enjoy this stuff now anyway. So I might as well go back home where I'm from and enjoy like a high wage in a low income place." So that's what you're kind of seeing, man. It's sad because a lot of these places are gonna get a lot of these places are gonna go close. They're gonna close them, and it's gonna affect the people who are still there, who are still like making it month to month, check to check. And when this shit is all over and done with, man, they're gonna be the ones that's hurting the most because everybody else then took the wages that was from that area and then went somewhere else. So it sucks, man, but I can see it from all perspectives. And like honestly, these cities is the ones that kind of fucked themselves up with this situation.
Every single time.
True.
Like they didn't do nothing about rent control. They didn't do anything to help incentivize the people who actually are from there to stay into these cities. You got them moving away 30, 45 minutes, like to an hour and a half even to like commute back and forth between the city for a job, and then they have to go somewhere where they can actually afford to live. And this is what happens because I mean, a lot of people who are moving into these cities, they don't have no allegiance to you.
Yeah, and the locals, like you said earlier, are the ones that's suffering. The people that are actually going to work every day in these areas that live right down the street, and they're trying to make it. Or they, like you said, having to drive an hour to work every day. It's tough, and it's interesting to me how everything works in a cycle. I think while we were growing up as kids, if I can just speak for y'all for a second, man, it was a huge push to get everybody in the suburbs. It was a huge push to have a house, man, like to have a yard and to have a fence, to have that white picket fence. And then the older we got, the more we started to see the revitalization of downtown areas. Everybody wanted to be in the city. All these companies were building up infrastructures because they were able to gentrify certain areas. And it's kind of seemed like a reoccurring cycle now. But one thing they didn't count on was the millennials at some point said, we're not going to do this too much. We're going to go where we want. And honestly, they're going to move at their own pace. And that's only going to hurt the major cities if they don't do things like my brother Bruce just outlined. Y'all don't do things correctly. Y'all should have been had rent control. Seattle is another place where you have all these companies, Amazon being one specific, Microsoft. You have these players out there, and then all of a sudden you got people that are being charged $4,000 a month to stay downtown. It's ridiculous. Their salaries don't even equate that much. So why are you charging that much for people to stay down there just because they can go to this new restaurant that's opened by this great chef that's been an executive at Nobu before in the past, and he wanted to do his own restaurant and started in Seattle. That's great, but what about the the future of things? And now we're going to start seeing a huge push for deflation. Deflation is going to start moving in a lot of these large cities, and we're going to start seeing the same thing we saw when we were growing up as kids. Some of these downtown areas starting to kind of go under because they
Hmm.
don't have the
Yep.
money anymore coming down in there. And then what's going to happen? People are going to start being pushed out, which is amazing when you see it because you go places where it's not a big downtown area, it's mostly family oriented. They're building houses left and right. They haven't
Hmm.
stopped building homes. They haven't stopped building apartment complexes. They haven't stopped building townhome infrastructures. They're steady building. And they know I don't think anybody anticipated this, but they knew we're going to build it for families. People want more families. We're going to build it out. But now they're going to have a rush because before there might have been 20 people buying for a house. Now there might be 100. So now you have to kind of compete, which is going to cause a huge issue. And some markets are going to deflate and others are going to inflate. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of pay attention to some of these moves that's being made in the next few months and years.
Well, I will say this. When I think of places to kind of keep an eye on because they really shown what has happened in the past 20 years or so, keep an eye on Detroit. Detroit was one of the cities that was impacted the most by the recession.
Hmm.
They was impacted the most by the cars, with the automotive industry, you know.
Hmm.
So, and they were on an uptick. It was starting to build back. They were having a lot of these downtown buildings that were busted windows and like they were once vibrant, but evacuated pretty much, abandoned. But now they were starting to build back up. So they were trying to get tech companies to come there. But now that you have this work from home push from a lot of places, I just keep an eye on Detroit. Keep an eye on Detroit. I think that'll tell us about America and where these big cities are, that their vision and what thoughts are. But a lot of these, and Ty could speak to this. A lot of these entrepreneurial people who were thinking that, oh, I got to go into the big city to make it. They are going to be the ones who capitalize when they realize that actually I don't got to go to these big cities.
Yep.
I can make that big city thing here.
Hmm. I mean, that's what it's. I don't want to say all about now, but it's about whatever your product is and curating it in your local setting and letting people that come in town, such as the people that come in for the job, the non-localists, and then they experience it, and then it gets buzzing, and then everybody wants to come to that place for that one thing or that one product. And you don't have to be that huge company to do that. And a lot of entrepreneurs are starting to take heed on that and capitalize on being active where they are and relatable and reaching out into the communities that they serve and then growing it from there.
Indeed, man. Indeed. Like, if you're not happy where you at, this is the perfect time to really look in the mirror and say, what do I need to do to get like change in my life? So that's all I can really offer to it right now.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, I know growing up, and Ty know this, we was always told get out of there. Get away from here, go somewhere else. Like,
Hmm.
like didn't nobody want us to stay in Norfolk.
Yeah. Nothing's here.
Yeah. And boy, was what they probably should have been telling us is build something, make something here, make
Right.
people want to come here.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of these people, what is it, the Gen Z that's after the millenniums?
Hmm.
Hmm.
The Gen Z is going through that right now. They're saying, like, no, I'm gonna build it where I'm from because I want this shit to be hot for my family and then the people behind me. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, this is some of the things that's going on in the world right now, man. There's a lot of we talked about USPS. I don't know if y'all saw the USPS said they're not gonna make any more changes until after the election.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So you know that is that, but oh man, I just don't know what to say, man. I don't even know where to go, honestly, because it's a weird situation, man. COVID, I think everybody got COVID right now, bro. I don't even think like it's a sickness that you have or had. I think everybody got it or has been exposed to it at this point.
for
Because you got
sure.
a lot of crazy, you got a lot of crazy shit going on right now.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I do think we've all been exposed to it in some way, shape, or form at this point right now. It's been rampant and been floating for too long for it not to have reached at least everybody, or at least you've been in contact with somebody that's had it. So
Yeah.
um, it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out in the next few months, and especially how much is going to happen with after the election goes. Um, I think that's a big proponent for it as well, and I think the postal service they had the House vote on that recent stimulus package to kind of give them 25 billion to kind of help with the funds. So we'll see how that goes once it gets to the Senate. Um, but it's definitely something to be mindful of, and uh, this week is this week coming up is definitely gonna be one for the books. That's for sure.
Man. I just don't between the celebrity news that's out there, and I don't think we're gonna touch about it. Well, I don't think we're gonna touch on it. But between the celebrity thing that's going on out there, you got a lot of people going through mental, like they're mentally being broken down right now because you have a lot of people who are in a place that wasn't home or in a place that wasn't peaceful for them, and they're not being able to escape that thing that's there. And I just want to say, man, like a lot of my prayers are going out to y'all people who are in situations where you're not comfortable at home. Um, my thoughts and prayers are going out to those people who are really mentally going through it right now with no escape. I know we made jokes in the beginning of this one, but I want to take this time to be stone cold serious about it right now. I just know that you are loved, you are thought of. Um, if you're in that place mentally where you need that escape, you need that break, I understand you. I understand the people who lost their jobs and really struggling on trying to figure out how they're gonna pay this rent, how they gonna get this food, and it just seems like there's no positivity going on in the world right now. I just want y'all to say, I want to say this to y'all is that this is just a phase.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna get past this. You're gonna have strong support, and this is the perfect time to weed out the people if you think they're not there to support you. This is why we as a brotherhood that we are get on this podcast and we talk to each other and then we be honest with each other. We ain't always right. I know I be saying shit that's wrong. I know I be mentally bothered. I've been on here drunk before. Like we done did it all, man. But it's a relief. It is something that it relieves me. I can say for myself to be able to just talk to my brother. So if you're not taking advantage of your friends or like that one person, even if it's a stranger, sometimes you got to go in and call that therapist and just have that moment, like just to be able to vent and let it out. Like I'm just there with you, man. I'm praying for you and rooting for you to get through this.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a time of many negative uh events happening at once. And I I side with everything you just said, bro. And again, I'm praying and rooting and pushing for all of those individuals that are in that mindset or in that situation that they just really don't know how they're gonna get out of it. I'm here with you too. Just like my brother just said, your thought, you're in our thoughts and you're in our prayers. But I also want to say something to those that, it's difficult for all of us, but some of us, we're still able to keep things floating. Some of us hasn't really missed much during these times and changes of the world. And for those, man, I just challenge you guys, girls, boys, men, whatever you are, to see the world for what it is and not be judgmental in these times. To simply say hi to someone if you're in passing, obviously social distance, or, you know, do something of thought that will help someone get through something that you don't even know that they're going through it. If it's your payday or whatever, you got an extra couple dollars, like, hey, you're in a drive through, spend a couple dollars on the car behind you. Just do something out of the ordinary. It doesn't really take money. Sometimes it's just a wave. Sometimes you're making eye contact and smiling. Could be the difference of that person making a decision that will affect him or her for the rest of their life. So when we're in passing with people we don't know, let's not be judgmental of what the way they look or what they're wearing or whatever you think they're about. And just for 1 second, just smile. Just smile. You don't even have to say anything. The world is in a place where we need love more than anything. And it shouldn't be that we're so in our situations and what we're going through and we're so hustle and bustle that we can't stop and take a second to just smile at somebody. And that's what I would encourage each and everybody on this podcast, off this podcast, all across the world, whoever's listening. Just smile at the person that you walk past.
Paying it forward, man. Paying it forward. It's a beautiful concept when it's done right. And I agree with everything your brother said, man. Just always sending out prayers, light, and love to all the people that's going through something, or even the people that's not, that are trying to make sure they can stay afloat. So much love from the good brothers at the Whiskey and Wisdom podcast.
And it just seems like week after week, man, it's another remembrance or another like celebration. And last week it was Nipsey. This week is Kobe Bryant, man. 823. Kobe Bryant's birthday. Last week we was celebrating Nipsey's birthday, man. It's crazy, man. It's been a crazy 12 months, bro.
Yeah.
Like
That's for sure.
it's crazy. Let me not say crazy. I don't want to keep saying that word because words mean things and it brings energy. It's been a tough and unique 12 months, um, to say the least. What are some of the things you think of when you know Kobe Bryant, man, not being here?
I think sometimes we forget just how much of a larger than life presence he actually really was, and how he was the epitome of doing things behind the scenes to help others out. Any and everything he did, he never did it for the limelight or the shine. He allowed his sport and his profession, his love, dictate that on the court. But once he retired, everything he did behind the scenes, it was to help empower others. And I think, with Kobe not being here, I think it's kind of being we're feeling that missing piece that you don't realize there's certain people behind the scenes that control so much just with their infectious personality and their heart that, it's just something that we have to kind of take in stride and make sure that we continue to try to become better individuals and at some point possibly start doing the same things. It's all about helping other people. If you can live and leave this life making somebody else's life better, then your goal is accomplished. And that's kind of what we have to kind of remember.
Yeah, man. Just it's always so sad. I'm not gonna say so sad to say, but unfortunate to say or learn about some of the things a person did that you didn't know about, but learn after they're gone. And then a lot of the things that I learned, I'll echo my brother. It's just his behind the scenes, and him touching people that I didn't even know he had relationships with. Um, Sort of is like an eye opener and something that I kind of strive to do within my power. Just wanting to do good and do right by people without broadcasting it. I'm perfectly fine with giving in the dark, I'll say, meaning giving to someone, not just money, whatever it is that I can give without nobody else knowing but me and that person. Now, if that person decides to tell, or, they were impressed with the blessing or whatever it was, and that's on them. But I really love that about Kobe is that he planted a lot of seeds all over and wasn't really looking for a lot in return, with the exception of that person becoming better the next day at whatever it is that they wanted to do.
I echo that from both of y'all, man. Also, what I think about Kobe's wife, his family, um, during this present time. And like we were talking about being in isolation. A lot of us need that escape, and them to also have to grieve during that during this is just, my prayers really go to them and the family. But something to kind of be like a little more uh upbeat, I guess. I think of how Kobe Bryant would be busting these NBA players' ass in this bubble, boy. Kobe would be going crazy in this bubble right now. He would be putting up like you see how Dame doing. Look at Dame and what he doing in the bubble, and like times that by 2 or 3 because Kobe would just be going crazy on folks.
Bro,
Facts.
Kobe would treat these games
Facts.
like practice. Like to have him with no crowd and just all mic and you can hear everything he says.
Man,
He probably would cut somebody ass out in the first quarter.
man.
uh,
Like the legendary practice that he had where he came in there and bust everybody ass and left early. And he said, "That's why y'all bums." The one that Nick Young
Classic,
was in.
classic.
That would be every game.
Yeah, for sure,
Like that would be every game, man. Man, it's you made an impact when you're not even here and people already know what it would have been like if you was here during this situation.
for sure, for
yeah.
You know,
sure.
like that's legendary status, man. We lost 2 LA Kings, man. Gone too soon, man. And boy, my prayers out to him, man. My prayers out to the family. And yeah, just eh, just remember when y'all be talking about LeBron and talk about Jordan and like, yo, make sure y'all remember Kobe. Cause
For sure.
I know he would be busting their ass right now, boy.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't think you can mention either one of those two without mentioning Kobe at this point. I think it would be blasphemous to do that. It would be blasphemous to exclude him in that conversation because he
Yeah.
he he is one of the goats, and there's no debating that at all.
No, not at all.
Yep. R.I.P. Kobe, man. Um, as we get closer to the wrap up of the pod, man, I know we delved in a lot of COVID talk, a lot of deeper talk about people dealing with the mental struggles of this every day. Is there any last things that y'all want to touch on before we go ahead and put the top on the bottle?
Honestly, man, I just want to really just kind of just echo what we've been saying really all pod, and just kind of giving a lot of love and positivity and light to everybody, and really just encouraging people, man, to just take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and just try to make sure you touch else's life and make it better before you leave here. You ain't got to do it today. You don't have to do it tomorrow, but just start planting those seeds. Start doing those things necessary to be more humane. We need more humility in this country. We need more humility on this planet. So I just hope that everybody, going through it can just kind of take the time to just help each other out, because those moments can kind of get you through the next day and the next day and the next day. So we just need as much positivity, love, and light as we can possibly get, and just continue to enjoy your life, and stay away from Tulum. That's it.
Stop chasing them
Oh, my
waterfalls,
goodness.
Please.
Hey, for all y'all chasing them, man, just be safe in the best way that you can, since you want to indulge.
I'll stick to the lakes that you're used to.
Facts.
Tyrone, man, any last matter of fact, no, because you're gonna close out. So I'm gonna just say, man, like, we got something very, 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 very special in the horizon next week. We'll talk about it next week. And as always, man, listening is learning. Make sure we listening to each other. There's a reason why you got two ears and one mouth.
Yes, sir.
So,
Absolutely.
That is by design.
by design, man. God made you that way for a reason. Tyrone, what you want to close out with on the pod, man?
We done went high, we done went low. I'm gonna stay in the middle. Just before we wrap, man, I just want to echo everybody and kind of like the premise of this podcast. I know we're a little COVID heavy, but we noticed that some things needed to be addressed, and so we addressed them. But just love each other, man. Love each other. Be kind to one another. Just go back to the days where you got in a situation at school and your mother, your father gave you the basic principles. Like treating others how you want to be treated type of thing. Let's get back to that type of world, man. And yeah, I think we'll be in a better place if we all just shared a little bit of our hearts and what we do each and every day. So this has been another installment of the Whiskey and Wisdom podcast, man. Episode 35 is in the books. And I just like to always thank you guys for coming on to the ride with us, supporting us and continue to listen. Thank you for the engagement on the social media platforms. Those that don't know where to go to find us on social media, we can be found on Instagram at Whiskey and Wisdom Podcast. Also, while you're there, man, on Mondays, we drop the question of the day. We also do Thoughtful Thursdays. So stay tuned for those. Interact with us, drop some comments, some likes. You can subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Also, man, Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at Whiskey and WISD 1. And let's not forget about our own platform, which is whiskeyandwisdompodcast.com, where you can also listen to all the podcasts. And we got playlists, man. You can rock out to the Mike R&B Soul playlist, and you can clean up on your Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings with me, Ty. We got more playlists coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But all in all, man, thank you guys for your time. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to the podcast, and hopefully you got something out of it. And again, I'll say again, listening is learning, man. Peace.
Also, hold up. YouTube, we on that mug too. Make sure y'all check them out on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
YouTube.
And as always, wear your damn ass, wash your damn hands, and make sure you enjoy that good whiskey. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.